Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Evidence and this is my very first live stream, first of many live streams. And from now going forward, most of the videos I'll be doing on this channel is mostly live streaming. That's something I want to try, to live stream every single video. So in today's video I'm going to be reviewing A Wrinkle in Time. Yes, from the start you can tell that this is a Disney movie. Like, if you had to describe A Wrinkle in Time in one word, it would be that this is a Disney movie. That is just the best way to describe it. It's a Disney movie. It's filled with fantasies. It's filled with special effects. Like, it has tons and tons and tons of special effects. And it has so much special effect that I think it will be easy to get lost in all the special effects involved in the movie. But what I really wanted to focus on is the backstory, the behind the scenes of the movie, like the story being told, the kind of like the why behind the special effects. That's what I want to focus on. And I've got my mini checklist here for them to talk about. And I wanted to start with Meg Murray. Meg Murray is the main character, and in the movie she was being bullied in school. So I think that's one thing we can all relate to. She was being bullied because she was a shy kid. You know, she was of course acting out because her dad is missing, but she was being bullied in school, and her little brother was very defensive of her. Charles Wallace. I just love his name, Charles Wallace. You can never trust people with double first name. But anyway, he's a cute little boy. The cute little boy is Charles Wallace is very defensive of his sister, and his sister Meg Murray was bullied in school. You know, they were making fun of her and they were poking fun of her, and she was an object of ridicule. And I think that's something a lot of people can relate to, definitely. And the main girl in the school, like the main girl, like, you know, the girl that was main, the leader of the pack that is bullying Meg Murray, at some point they showed her in her room weighing herself, and because she didn't reach a certain weight, you know, she was kind of discouraged, she was angry, and she had like this board, you know, this board, like this checklist of things she shouldn't eat: no cheese, no fries, no milk, no gluten, no all this stuff. And you know, she felt very insecure and she felt very bad about herself, and she wasn't comfortable in her own skin, and she felt insecure because of her weight, even though she didn't weigh a lot, like she was this tiny, but still she felt extremely insecure and because of her weight. And she, of course, she took out those insecurities on Meg Murray. So I think that's kind of one of the backstories, like what the story, one of the stories I wanted to touch on. And it's very easy to get lost in all the special effects and forget the story behind the special effects. And the next thing I wanted to discuss is the It. So the It is kind of, you know, the darkness. It was portrayed like Oprah Winfrey was talking about. Oprah Winfrey, which is Mrs. Witch. Yeah, Mrs. Witch. Actually spelled W-H-I-C-H. When they said Mrs. Witch in the movie, I thought they were calling her witch as in witchcraft, you know, W-H-I-T-C-H. W-I-T-C-H, witch, you know, as opposed to witch, W-H-I-C-H. So I thought they were calling her witch, W-I-T-C-H, instead of witch, W-H-I-C-H. But Mrs. Witch was describing the It, you know, as the dark place in everybody's heart, you know, like that place where we have evil, where we plan evil, where we think bad things and stuff. That's kind of the description of it. And it is also portrayed as a universe itself. But I think the definition of it is somewhat accurate. In everybody's heart, like in every one of us, there is a place in our hearts where there's evil. There is a place in our heart, you know, where there is bad things, where we have bad thoughts, you know, where when we say bad things or we even plan bad things, you know. So that's what it's kind of described as. That's what it described it as. So in everybody's heart there is a bad place, there is an evil spot in everybody's heart, but the question is, are you going to let that evil overtake you, or are you going to let light overtake you? And the next thing I want to talk about is mentorship. So throughout the movie, like towards the end of the movie, what really got McMurray and Charles Swallows free was McMurray, which is the lead character, remembered the words of of her mentors, which is Mrs. Who, Mrs. Which, and Mrs. Was It. How did I come up with this next Was It? Anyway, it was the words of her mentor. You know, like I guess you could consider Mrs. Which what and what is the mentors. You know, they mentors are designed to guide you, and um those three characters, you know, they're the one that guided Charles Wallace and Meg Murray and Levi Miller. Levi Miller is the guy was. Let me check his name in the movie. Let me check the cast of Calvin. Okay, so he played Calvin in the movie. Yeah, so it was the three characters, Mrs. Which, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. What is, that guided them from, you know, their parents' house until the universe of the planet of it. And at the end, before the three before the three mentors left, you know, they gave them advice of how to overcome the it, how to conquer the it. So I think that's a valuable lesson. That's kind of a hidden lesson, that mentors are designed to guide people, and I guess you could consider those three characters the mentors to those kids. And one more thing, and thing I want to talk about is darkness weakens the light. So while I'm on the topic of mentorship, What is Mrs. What is Who, and Mrs. Switch. So when they ended up in the planet, in the universe of it, you know, in the planet of it, right? They began to weaken. You know, they became weak. They didn't have their powers anymore. You know, they couldn't overcome darkness anymore. And I think that's kind of shows that in the that darkness tends to weaken the light. You know, darkness tries to overcome the light. You know, that happens. You know, like when there's a lot of darkness, the darkness kind of tries to weaken the light, and when they are light, they represent light. And when they were in the midst of darkness, they were getting weaker. They had to get out of there in order to save their strength, because they are weak, they are light, and light um and they were representing it as light is not really strong in this midst of great darkness. And next I want to talk about is McMurray's desire to find her father. So the main point, like the most important thing in this movie, is her desire to find her father. Like it was her desire to find her father that made her do the things that she did in order to go on the journey in the first place. And as we can see throughout the movie, she was very angry, she was very gloomy, she was very depressed, she wasn't herself, she was acting out because her father is missing. And I think a lot of people can relate to that in real life, because most times in real life, when people grow up without their father, they have like this hole in their heart, and it's very painful. And just extremely painful. It's hard to deal with. A lot of people don't know how to deal with growing up without a father. It's like a very hole in your heart. It's like you're hungry for your father. It's like you're always hungry for your father. And if you grow up without a father and you're a guy, when you become a father, it's kind of hard for you to know how to be a father, you know, if you grew up without a dad. So I think she was angry, she was desperate, she had a hole in her heart. She was just hungry for a father, and that hunger for a father is what gave her the courage to go on the journey in the first place to find her father. And it was also her willpower to find her father that saved them, because when the three mentors, when Mrs. Who, Mrs. Watt, and Mrs. Who, Mrs. Waters, and Mrs. Switch wanted to go back to Earth, it was Meg Murray's willpower to find her father that brought them to the planet of Earth. So her desire to find her father, like her willpower to find her father, overcame the willpower of the three guides that we are guiding them. So her willpower to find her father is the only reason why they landed in the planet of Earth, and is the only reason why they were able to find her father in the first place. So I believe that kind of shows us the power of willpower. It's like when you are hungry for something, when you are desperate for something, when you really really want something, like you do anything to get, like you go after it. So that's kind of the power of willpower. And I wanted to end with love destroys hate. Yes, absolutely, love destroys hate. So at the end of the movie, like when Meg Murray was fighting with Charles Wallace, it was the fact that Charles Wallace loves Meg Murray, his sister, that saved them. Towards the end of the movie, Charles Wallace almost won, the battle. The eight almost won the battle, and Meg Murray reminded Charles Wallace how much Charles Wallace loves her, and how much Charles Wallace cares about her, and how much they love each other and everything. And it is that moment, it's that moment when Meg Murray reminded Charles Wallace how much he loved her, and reminded him of the power of love, that Charles Wallace was set free. So I think that love overcomes darkness. It was the love between Charles Wallace and Meg Murray, the two, their siblings. Yeah, it's the love between Charles Wallace and Meg Murray that destroyed the darkness. So this kind of shows us that love destroys all darkness. Like even when light tries to overtake darkness, eventually love will destroy darkness. Love destroyed the universe of it. It is full of darkness, and it's spreading really fast, and it's taking over the whole world. But when love comes in, genuine unconditional love comes in, love destroys darkness. Love drives out all darkness. But anyway, that's kind of my take on the movie. It has a lot of special effects. Whenever I watch a movie, I don't just watch a movie for fun. I don't just watch a movie for entertainment, and I kind of like to I kind of pay close attention to the story behind the movie. Like if I'm watching a movie and the movie doesn't really have like a concrete story to it, I usually am not interested, and usually I end up not liking the movie. But if I watch a movie, even if it have a lot of special effects, or even if it has bad acting, or even if it's boring and dull or whatever, it's like it doesn't matter if the movie has a real story behind it. That's kind of what I focus on. Like, what story is this movie sending? Like, what value is this movie adding to my life? That's kind of what I look out for. So yeah, I'm super excited. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing an album. I'm going to be reviewing an album tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and bye.